Welcome to Brocks and Macks. Like and subscribe. You like the content, like all the footage that I've been posting, all that stuff. Today, I'm going to talk a little bit about this truck. What is it? It's got Mack emblems on it. Clearly, there was front Mack badge. I don't see a remnants of what was once a dog pedestal. What is this? Is it nothing but Corey? Maybe we should just call this truck Corey. So Corey is an unidentified truck and has been for quite some time. When I first saw this truck about 5 years ago down in Wind Gap, Pennsylvania, actually, it had all these Mack badges on it. But a true truck enthusiast knows that this is not Mack. My only suspicion is this was a former fire truck to a certain department that's all that they had was Mack, and they just could not accept the fact that this may be something else. But what is it? It's got a cute little air intake on it. It's got a round Snyder tank with the blowouts on each end. Certain truck manufacturers had that. It does not have a Mack rear, which would be very common if this was Mack. The spring hangers are not Mack. Obviously the tank could go on any particular truck. It does not have a Mack engine. Big power under this cab. I can sneak through. It's got a Cummins 555 or triple nickel, whichever anybody wants to describe, with a little boy 5-speed. It looks like a glass pack muffler. This actually is in one of my other videos of it running. But what is this thing? Let's see if the door opens. Okay. Generic something of something for the truck manufacturer. This is not Mack. Doesn't have any type of MB or MR grab handle look to it. The dash does not look Mack. Got this, but it doesn't specify what truck manufacturer. It just says J527L. But the dead giveaway, for anybody that has no idea, yes, Brockway Husketeer it is. I have no clue why somebody would go out of their way to debadge the truck. They did forget one. You got the Brockway on the heater. And on the passenger side, it does have the door tag, but I can't get to it. It's a little bit tight on that side. But it does have the door tag for Corey. Corey is actually a Brockway Husketeer. From what I believe, this front bumper, which is beautifully chromed still to this day, is all original to the truck. These headlight bezels are specific to Brockway Husketeer. Those are in presentable shape. Probably should be either remade, re-chromed. They do have some fade to it. The cab has a weird tilting mechanism on the passenger side. It's got a huge coil spring and obviously something went bad, so somebody was pretty impressive and put some eyelets on the roof, grabbed something inside the cab that they were confident enough, if they needed to tilt the cab, just give it a yank with a backhoe or a forklift or whatever to do the maintenance on it. So, still have the Mack dog on the passenger side, but there is nothing really Mack about this. Kind of weird that Mack and Brockway were that close in using emblem disguising, so to speak. They did use the same dog pedestal with the grab handles, and then the Husky dog, the back end of a cabover Husky dog, is the same hole pattern as the regular Mack dog that goes on a hood. Valuable piece of information. I hope people find this footage extremely educational. Another thing how I can tell that it's not a Mack, other than me knowing it's not a Mack, when you flip this over, there is weld holes that once a 527 emblem should have gone here instead of Mack emblem. So somebody really went the country mile to weld holes, and then I can't remember which particular side, whether it's Husketeer here or Husketeer on this side, but there is holes that are missing for that emblem also. I hope this video gives people valuable information and extremely educational for the differences between a Husketeer and a Mack cabover. This would be the Mack MB era, and then when Brockway went out of business, I believe the MR started in late 77, early 78. I've seen some early ones, so the MB quit just about the time that Brockway went out. Ironic? Stay tuned for more information about the differences between Macks and Brockways. So Corey was discovered by a very good friend of mine in a scrapyard down in New Jersey somewhere. I don't know the exact location because all I got was pictures from this friend that said, hey, I'm really not into Brockways. I know it's a Brockway, but it's got Mack emblems all over it. But is this something you'd be interested in? So he sent me pictures, and this truck that I would drive by for years and years but could not gain, oh, what would you want to call it? The strength or the encouragement to trespass on somebody's property when it clearly says, do not go on this property or else you will be prosecuted. I really wasn't into that at this point in my life. So therefore, I just decided it's probably best to do some checking, maybe go on Facebook and see if there was a local fire department in that area, which there was, and somebody did give me photos of this truck when it was actually in service. But it didn't lead me anywhere. And for some reason, the truck got sold, it was going to a scrapyard, and I saved it. So when I got this truck, I did pressure wash it off, and I found a smiley face. I also found that it's been painted quite a few times, and it had, you can see there's a inlay of something. It was a, I don't know if a landscaper had it. I can't remember what exactly it said on the door, but it was used since the fire department at least twice. It's all original, pretty cool. The tank isn't overly exciting. I was going to do something with the truck at some point, but it does run. It runs good. I did have to put a mechanical throttle cable because that was all set up. It would only idle when I got it running finally. And I'm glad that it was in my hands instead of it getting scrapped. I did hear some noise about some Brockway enthusiasts that wanted the truck but passed on it, which I don't know if you would call that a Brockway enthusiast, because any Brockway enthusiast that finds something would share valuable information like this, like, hey, there's a truck in a scrapyard, does anybody want it? But no, this person decided it's better left to be scrapped than to be preserved in the Brockway community, so to speak. So glad that that strategy didn't work, and I had a good friend to give me some insight on it, and now I own it. Pretty proud of this truck. I do like Brockway Husketeers. Stick around for some more footage of Husketeers. There are a few more that I'd like to post, but this is not the holy grail, but it's unique, being that it's got the triple nickel Cummins in it. Normally you only see like a NH230, and they made a bunch of them with 671s. They may have made, I know they did, they made 6 V53s, but I've never seen one with a 555. Not that that's anything to brag about. We're only talking about 180, 200 horse here, if that, but it's cool. It doesn't go fast. It's got a super slow rear. It might only go 45, 48 miles an hour. So maybe that's why the fire department got rid of it. It was just too slow. But if you sped this thing up, it would not move out of its own way. So it was probably spec'd correctly through Brockway with the 5-speed, 2-speed rear. But again, people, it was not a fast truck. But that's the video of Corey. Hope you enjoyed it. As always, like and subscribe. Check out my other videos, and we'll see you at the next one. Have a great night.